Hello everyone and welcome to my coloring corner. Today, of course, is Work in Progress Wednesday, and I have a whole bunch of different projects going on, and I completely forgot that I have a wonderful, wonderful page in this book that I started a long time ago. So we're going to be trying to get some of that work done, and I'm going to actually use the Cadrim colored pencils that I just did a special bulletin about on the channel when they were on sale for $13 for a 72 set. Now, after I finished doing that, somebody came to me and said, there's a sticker over top of the Cadrim name is actually a sticker. And it is actually over top of another brand's name. So me and my friend searched and searched and searched, and we're actually able to find, if you can see it says Cooley there. We were actually able to find the Cooley 72 set, and they are identical. So this Cooley larger set, I looked at it and it had some different names on or different numbers on the colored pencils. So it may be the same, it may be different. You never know with these if the numbers on the pencils are always the same or if they change. But they were not very expensive, and the Cadrim are like, when they went on sale, were like $5 less. So the Cooley for the 72 set is 18 something, and the 120 set, I don't remember how much those were. I did not buy them. So just throwing that out there, this Cadrim sticker is a sticker. This is painted on the tin. So I think they're the same pencils. They look exactly the same in the tin and everything. So I was a little disappointed by that. The pencils are wonderful, and they may not have been able to sell them with the older name for some reason. I don't know. But the pencils are fantastic, so I'm not sure why they would change the name on them like that. I've got two wonderful visitors. I'm not sure who because they haven't said hello, but that's fine. So today I'm going to work in this book because, yeah, I got this book and I colored half of a page in it and got so busy with everything else, I completely didn't finish it, which is terrible because it's a beautiful picture. I love the work in this book and in all of her books. I have 3 of them, and they're absolutely gorgeous. I need to get the other 2, but at another day. Of course, they are fairly expensive as well, so shipping is terrible. It's like something like $55 or $60 a book with shipping. So it's one of those things that you buy when you have a little bit extra. Hi, DJ. How are you today, Davissa? I know it's starting to snow out there. Have you battened down all the hatches? We got snow yesterday for an hour. That was it. It snowed and then it went away. Well, that's good. Yep, it was kind of funny, actually. Hey there, Viking. Long time no see. Yay! I'm glad you're able to catch a live. I'm here on Wednesday afternoons as well as Saturday mornings. So, how are you doing today, Viking? I'm going to switch it over to the other camera because this camera is not very good at seeing what I'm doing. But first, I'm going to move my coffee out of the way because that would suck if I was to dump an entire full coffee cup of coffee on this beautiful book. That would not be good at all. All right, so we're going to turn that and turn that. There. Now you can see what I'm doing. Maybe. So yeah, I was thinking about it and thinking of all the different works in progress I have going and thought, oh no, I've still got a work in progress going in there. So that's how this one ended up being the one we're working on. What is everybody else working on today? I'm doing good. I'm just keeping myself busy and all that fun stuff. Glad you're relaxing at home. How are you feeling? How are those printers coming? You got my big one built yet? There, that's a little better. Bob's been working on, I got him a bunch of new stuff for his printers. He's been working on getting them all put together. He is still at work. All right. So what is everybody working on today? Do you have any big work in progresses going on? Nobody? On a Molly Harrison image, I did a flip through of a Molly Harrison book today. What book are you working out of? I like Molly Harrison. I think her little fairies are just so cute. And her mermaids are fantastic too, so I think her work is just adorable. You know, that was silly of me. I keep on putting the pencil that I'm working with back in the case, and I haven't finished working with it. So these Cadrim pencils, and I'm going to call them Cadrim because that's what I bought them as. Do seem to go down on this paper really smooth, so I really like them. I don't care what they're called, Culi or Cadrim. Well, don't wear yourself out. You know, do what you can do and relax and rest and take care of you. 2020 and 2021, I think, are just going to be a look after you year. Yeah, if you don't have the space to build it, Viking, that could be a problem too. Bob's running out of space quickly. Oh, sorry guys, I just hit the camera with my brush. So I'm just going through and I'm just coloring up all of these wonderful, wonderful little ladybugs. Not like you can't see that. I don't know why I explain what I'm doing. You guys can see what I'm doing. But things have been progressing around here. Of course, I'm getting myself into more and more projects. I've got another project coming up that's going to be really cool, working with 3D printing and painting 3D printing stuff. So that'll be fun. And what else am I into? Been working with a wonderful artist to get these special Sundays done, and should be a lot of fun when that happens. Oh, see, I did it again. I stuck this back in here and I'm not even done with it. So let's stick that beside the paper here. And other than that, I've just been doing videos for you guys. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, because that's what I like to do. Been doing what I like to do. Coloring and talking to you all. I need some suggestions for Saturday's color along. Does anybody have any thoughts on what we should do, since we have finished up the Valentine's Day challenge one? Hi, Sonia. You're working on your first Karen Myers book. I like those books too. They're so cute and so whimsical. And the first one I did, I found the paper was quite nice too. Yeah, we can definitely do it. Maybe a Christine Caron, the new Fairy and Fantasy 2. That's a very good idea. I have not colored out of that one yet. Now, speaking of Fairy and Fantasy 2, I do have a contest going on the Collection Mania Monday video, and it is running until Friday. So if you haven't watched the Collection Mania Monday video and don't have a Christine Caron book for the new book that she came out with, Fairies and Fantasies 2, make sure that you watch that video to get the information on how to enter to win that book. Because I have a spare and I like to share. Now, of course, with all contests right now, because of the postal restrictions and all that fun stuff and the postal costs right now, it is limited to the United States residents. So make sure that you're a U.S. resident and a subscriber to the channel, and you can enter into winning that book. Oh, it doesn't bleed a lot with markers. That's really cool. Yeah, I used color pencils on it, and it just was pretty. It worked really, really nicely. Yeah, the paper in those is really nice. It's pretty close to Christine Caron quality paper, which is really cool. There's not too many coloring books that choose the higher quality paper when they're printing. And of course, this one is the Klara Markova, her new book, The Fairy Touch of Magic. And I started this page to show how to color pumpkins in October. And I haven't finished it. I haven't even worked on it. It's horrible. It is such a crying shame because I just love her books, and the paper in her books is so nice. Yep. I'm shaking y'all again, just sharpening my pencils. Sorry. Yeah, I've got to rethink my setup for when I'm doing large showing videos that show large things, large amounts of things. My cameras were a little bit too close for Tips and Tricks Tuesday to show you all the different ways that I store my pencils. I think the pile was a little too high. But yeah, you guys got the information. That's all that matters, right? That's the great thing about all this stuff is it's a learning curve for me too. So I just want to remind everybody to, of course, hit the like button, and if you're not already a subscriber to the channel, make sure that you hit the subscribe button. Like I said, and I always say I try to put out a scheduled video every day. And of course, on Wednesdays and Saturdays, I come on here live just to sit and chat with you guys and color, which is fun for me. And hopefully fun for you guys. If it's not fun for everybody, then why am I doing it, right? And the one really, really awesome thing about these books, and with a lot of different artists that I color, is even in the line art, they leave little hints of where your colors should be and where your dark colors should be and where your light colors should be, which is really cool. Now I'm going to touch up, maybe, let's see if I have a good color for that, 109. I'm going to touch up the pumpkin a little bit because it has been sitting for so long. The pale green has become a lot paler. So we're just going to touch that up a little bit. Give it a little bit more love there. Okay. Now the green that I'm using is a very, very pale gray green. I didn't want to overcome the color that was there. Just wanted to brighten it up a little bit. Sometimes when you go over a darker color like this pale green with a lighter color, it'll brighten it up a bit and enhance it. But yeah, these pencils seem to do quite well on this paper, giving quite a nice color. I was going to use my square root tuners, but I know how those color. And these ones I haven't colored on a lot of things with beyond doing my swatch sheets and that sort of thing. So I wanted to give them a try in an actual book with good paper. And I must say they are doing quite well. I wish I could remember what pencils I started this with. Of course, I can go back and watch the video, and because I never write down things. I hate writing things down. I always forget where I wrote them down and then forget what what they were for when I find them. So I didn't write it down what pencils I used to do these pumpkins. Probably, if it was done in October, probably Faber-Castells. And these seem to be mixing together really well with the Fabers. It's either the Fabers or the Holbeins. But these seem to be mixing quite well, blending quite well with whatever pencils I used when I did the colors for these pumpkins last time. So, which is really cool. I've covered this entire pumpkin in white, and it's still showing the color through it, and it's still enhancing the other colors, which is great. Yeah, I can feel the white pencil under it, but it's still mixing into it quite well. And if I shut off my lamp, which I have the lamp on, of course, so I can see what I'm doing. If I shut off the lamp, you can see it really well. So just give me a second here. We'll see if doing that for you helps to see what's going on. Okay. And I'm just going to take my duster brush and wipe it away. And turn this off. And then turn this on. I have to give it a second. Come on. There we go. So as you can see through here, it added to the color quite nicely, even over top of that white colored pencil, which is really cool. Well, that's good. I'm glad that you've learned a lot, and I'm glad that I'm able to save you a little bit of money and time. There's not very many colored pencil sets that I really don't like, but believe me, if I really don't like them, you're going to know about it. um, And I've found lately that there's so many colored pencil sets out there, um, trying to cash in on the names of other brands, which is really a crying shame. And everything keeps going up. They're so expensive. Yeah, I did too. I made a lot of newbie, mistakes, and I sent some colored pencils back really quickly, just because they, I watched all the videos, and I really expected a lot more from the hype and everything else. And when a set came on sale, I bought them, and they were terrible. And I was so disappointed and so sad. But I learned very, very early that Amazon is one of those places where you don't have to keep them if you don't like them. So back they go. If I have a problem with a pencil, I am not shy about sending them back. Even pencils that have a great name, such as Crayola. What is the other one? Spectrum Noir. You know, things like that. Like Spectrum Noir, I was expecting a fantastic set of pencils, and all of the pictures that I saw of people using them looked like they were going to be fantastic pencils, and I found they were terrible. They were waxy and icky, and I was really, really disappointed. And that's when I figured out I'm an oil girl. I prefer the oil pencils. Because wax pencils I like them now, and I'm a lot better with them now. But when I first started coloring, I hated wax pencils with a passion because I wasn't any good with them. I couldn't get them to work the way that I wanted them to work. And my coloring always looked terrible, and you know how it goes. But I learned slowly how to use them and where to use them, and that's why I have so many sets of pencils, because I'm learning as I go along what these pencils are good for, what kinds of books they're good for, and every paper seems to have a different set of pencils that work really well for it. So, like I said, you end up getting a lot more colored pencils very quickly when you get more books. Okay, I'm going to use a little bit of the dark gray blue. Just to darken up this black a little bit. There we go. I hate doing black on top of black because then you can't really see the Can't really see the antennae because now that I've colored his little head black, because that's the color of ladybugs' heads, they're hidden a little bit. That's the wrong one. So yeah, I think that is what we will do, is we will do a color along of the new Christine Caron book on Saturday. And I have some new things coming out on Friday, and I think I will use some of those. And I'm sorry about the train. It's going to say hello. Did that earlier in the video too. Did my video earlier, and just as I was getting started or finishing up, one or the other, the train said hello. But that's the joy of trains. Okay. We got our ladybug faces all colored in. Just going to finish it up. And of course, I'll come along with a white gel pen later and give them a little bit of highlight. And blending, I haven't blended anything yet, so. Okay, let's do these guys' heads. All right. Well, that's the joys of having a hobby, is finding what works right for you as well. Because sometimes, things that don't work well for me work great for others. If you watch a video and you see what is going to bug you, then don't buy the pencils, absolutely. Or if you see a counterfeit set of pencils, of course, I wouldn't buy those either. But if something doesn't work for me and you're looking at it going, okay, I'm not sure what's not working for her, buy the pencils. I could be wrong. It happens all the time. I'm really picky. Which pencils do you love, Davissa? The Brute Funer squares or these Cadrums? I like them both, but I really love the Brute Funers. Those are my favorite. One of my favorite budget-friendly pencils, absolutely. For a long time, it was a toss-up between the Brute Funers and the Sharper Fabens. I'm probably saying that wrong, but that's what I've always called them, Sharper Faben. Both are a beautiful oil-based pencil. And the Sharper Faben, when I first bought them, when I very first bought my first set, they were a 72 set, and they were $29.99. Not anymore. And I think that's what drives me the loopiest, is how expensive the budget-friendly brands are starting to get. during a time when, we it's an expensive time already. Why are we, having to pay out more and more and more for our hobbies? And it's not just the coloring community either. It's a lot of different hobbies. The prices on things are going up constantly, all the time. Something that used to be budget friendly and fun to do is now out of the reach of the budget, even if you don't have a problem with finances because of COVID. And if you have finance problems because of COVID, it's even further out of your reach. And that's just not fair. And I don't think they should. I just really wish they wouldn't do that, especially during a pandemic, price gouging and raising the prices on things because people are interested in it and the sales are going up. I just don't think that's right. But that's me. But I really like the sharper Fabens. So now I don't think they've gone up a whole lot, but they came out with a new set, and that, of course, is more expensive. And they have been going up quite a bit in price before the pandemic. I don't think they've gone up at all during the pandemic, but yeah. Sharper Farben. I like sharper Faben. Sharper Farben. Sharper Farben. Sharper Farben. It doesn't roll off the tongue. I will practice. Sharper Farben. Us darn Canadians not being able to speak right. I'm not saying that Canadians can't speak right, just throwing that out there. This Canadian can't speak right. I have a really, really hard time pronouncing things sometimes. I try. It's like names, I'll have a name of something or I'll be thinking about something and I'll have that name on the very tip of my tongue and I can't think of what it is for the life of me. It drives me crazy. Or I'll be thinking of somebody's name and it just won't come. It won't come out. And it's not like I just met the person and can't remember their name. It's like I've known you for 20 years and I can't say your name. It used to happen even when I was a kid, so it's not old age either. It's just me. Hi, Deborah. Well, I'm glad that you were able to finish it. I started mine like in October, and I didn't forget about it. I got sidetracked, and it just didn't get done. So I got the pumpkins done. But I wanted to test these new pencils because I haven't had enough time to even test the Cadram pencils that I just bought on an actual coloring book. I tested them on coloring paper and doing the swatches and whatnot, but I haven't actually had time to test them in an actual book, so I wanted to do that. Sharper Faben. Is that better? Farben? Sharper Farben? Sharper Farben. Sharper Farben. Yeah, they're giving me English lessons. because I don't English well. No, I'm terrible with words and trying to pronounce the names of things like Carandash. I've been calling it all sorts of things that aren't right. Um, somebody corrected me again today of Carandash or Carandash. I'll get it at some point. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't like the master's pencils. They ball up and do what you have experienced and just rub right off and cause different issues. This paper is definitely not good with those pencils. I used them on when I was doing the swatch. I got through like 10, not even 10 of the swatch, doing it live, and sent them back. Pure, sharp, sure, pure, pure, pure. Is that right? Pure? Yeah. Well, I'm sorry that you had that experience, Deborah. Pure, okay? Pure Farben. Pure Farben. They're teaching me how to say different foreign language names for pencils. Pure Farben. Pure Farben. Is that right? Pure. Pure. Okay. Well, I'm glad you guys tell me because I've been calling it wrong for 2 years. Pure. Okay. Thank you, Sonia. And thank you, Deborah. Pure. Pure Farben. Oh. See, you learn something every time. Every time I go live, I learn something from y'all. Erogetin. So is it Ero or Iro? Irogetin or Erogetin? Because I always call that one the wrong thing too. So Irogetin or Erogetin? Erogetin. Erogetin. How's that? Is that right? Erogetin? Erogetin. Okay. Like that. Okay. Erogetin. Yeah, I didn't keep the masters. I have a small set of their skin tones that I've used a couple of times. and it's long since passed since I could possibly send those back. But I didn't keep that big set. There was no way. That was just way too many pencils for that I would never use. And I could have kept it and used it for my counter, um, but I have enough pencils that by the time they're all short, I should have more than enough to cover a counter. So erogitin, irogitin or erogitin, I irogitin, is that right? Irogitin. So irogitin. Somebody else told me it was E. So irogitin. Is that right? Irogitin. Gitin. Oh, right. Irogitin. Is that right? Yeah, I saw that. I really, really wish that I could have found those. I like the Amazon Basics, and they work so well on coloring book paper. That is one of those pencils that I do use in coloring books. So irogitin. 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 Yeah, somebody told me it was E, like erogitin. Irogitin. Okay. Wonderful. Thank you. Irogitin. Inch. Oh, let's see here. Spurfarben. Spurfarben is the other one, right? Spurfarben. Spurfarben. I'm going to be saying both these words all night long. Yeah, just be careful what paper you use them on. Printer paper, I think, would probably be the best use for them. I think they did terrible on cardstock, and they did terrible on coloring book paper. So I think the thinner printer paper might be your best bet with them, and you won't be able to layer them from my experience with them. It's a one color deal. It's either you choose the color and off you go, or yeah. Well, they are German, and I'm not quite sure where Irojitin comes from, but I think Japan. So they are foreign languages. It's just getting your tongue wrapped around a foreign language, and to them, it's perfectly normal name to say. So it's just like brute funer. I am probably saying that completely wrong too, but it's just because of the way I speak. The foreign languages don't roll off your tongue the way they expect them to. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. If you try to mix the master setup, they come up like a bad omelet. That is pretty much it. That is 110% the right way to say that. That's awesome. Oh, that was good. I like that. All right. And when you look at all the different names of things in different places these colored pencils come from, you sit there and wonder how many of them you're actually getting right. You know, like Faber-Castell, am I saying that correct? That is another foreign pencil company. Um, there's Faber-Castell, there's, oh, what's the other one? The Holbein, that's another foreign one. Am I saying it correctly? Brutfuner. Yeah, they're the little pumpkins with the little faces. They're just so cute. The little baby faces with the two little teeth. Yeah, I love the entire book. It's just so sweet. And I really, really, really wish I had um, more time. I'm gonna actually add a bit of yellow to this one, I think. Sometimes you sit there and you go, where'd the time go? I need more hours in the day some days. And so many different projects going on, and by the time you get back to something, it's like, yeah, I started this a long time ago. Ah, okay. Well, thank you. But is Google right? And unless you actually hear it straight from the company, like Arteza, for example. I know a lot of YouTubers and a lot of different people call them Arteza, but directly from the company's videos and from the company itself, it is Arteza. Somebody sent me a video of how they actually say it for the company, and it's Arteza. Because we had a conversation about it on a different channel. Hi, Cassie. Good to see you. And of course, as you all know, the Nightbot is there telling y'all to make sure you hit the like button and, of course, hit the subscribe button if you're not a subscriber and all that fun stuff. And every once in a while, he comes up and tells you how you can donate to the channel and help us out. And I just want to say that I did get my first donation. I think it was last Saturday. And to the two wonderful people that donated, I'm not going to say any names or anything. I would like to thank you all very much for your assistance. It will be a huge help with little contests that I have in sending out those different contest items. Thank you. They are, aren't they? They're just so little. I just love the I love the entire book. I just love the entire book. It's awesome. I'm glad I wasn't the only one that saw that video. For the Arteza pronunciation and how they pronounce it. It was posted in another group for me from somebody else on how to pronounce it, because it was a discussion in a video that we in a live stream that we were doing, and I wanted to make sure that I was saying it correctly because I didn't think it was being said correctly. And one of us wasn't saying it correctly, and it was probably me, but I was quite surprised that I was the one saying it right. Because I have a tendency to mispronounce a lot of things. Yes. And I think that that's probably where I saw it in the first place, and that's why I was pronouncing it that way. I just couldn't remember where I had heard it pronounced, but I was pretty sure it was off the straight from the Arteza site. So I have a lot of their products. I really actually enjoy their products. I'm not enjoying their price hikes, but I really actually enjoy their products. They do have some new markers out that are really, really expensive. And they're the Everblend 2 or whatever it is. And they've discontinued the regular Everblends and put out these new ones, and they are really expensive. And the only thing I don't like about the Everblends is they're not a brush marker. And I think if you're going to put out, a marker and price it in a high-end brand, you're gonna need to have that ability to either be a brush marker or so that they have a choice. You can choose whether you want to do a brush marker or a nib marker. Yeah, they are way overpriced in my opinion too. I am definitely not going to be one of those ones that buys them because, first of all, I don't like nib markers. And that's just a personal preference. There's nothing wrong with nib markers. I have lots of them. But I really prefer the brush tip. So, if it doesn't come in a brush tip, unless it's bought for me, I don't buy them. And now there's a lot of budget-friendly ones that are coming out in brush nibs. So, yeah, absolutely. Stick with the Dick Blick, and that sort of thing. Like the Copics, the Dick Blicks, even these, the Cali Art brush markers. If you're going to pay the cost for Copics, go with Copics. They're refillable and everything else that the Arteza people are saying that they're going to be doing, but they have the brand behind them. Arteza is a great brand and their customer service is top notch. I will never say anything bad about Arteza's customer service or their brand. But I think that they are going by they're going by the cost of a brand that they don't live up to, if that makes sense. They're trying to price their markers at the same level as a Copic level, and they're not building up to that Copic level. Yeah, like a hundred and what was it? Almost $100 or $200 for 72. It's really expensive. I was surprised at the price of them, and I don't surprise easily. And it's like, oh yeah, no, that's not happening. That's just too much. And I really, really enjoy the the brand. I love their pencils. Another thing that they've done that I don't like is they've changed the numbers on their pencils. I have a chart now that tells me what the new numbers are, with the old numbers, so I can, at least do my videos and you guys can know what colors I'm using. But why do they do that? Why, and I have a couple of other ones like the Brute Funers. The old Brute Funers are not the same numbers as the new Brute Funers. I don't know why. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That is exactly what it is. Or, you know, as far as I'm concerned, mastered colored pencil should be giving them away free, but that's just my opinion. Yeah. Yeah. I think I even prefer my Crayolas over the masters. And the I tried out the new 120 set of Crayolas the other day and wasn't impressed by them. So, and I would even say those are higher on my list than the masters. And it's not that Crayola's product is bad. Crayola's product is really, really nice, and they do lay down a lot better than the masters. But they're don't work as well on cardstock as I would like them to. They work a lot better on coloring book paper, that's for sure. And definitely, if you color in coloring book paper, I would suggest them for you all day long as a wonderful budget-friendly pencil. But I don't color in coloring books a whole lot. And the ones that I do, I use try to use my higher end colored pencils for. This one is just the name page, and I really wanted to try these pencils out, and they seem to be going down very nicely on this paper that uh, Klara uses. So, but you're absolutely correct. If you're not a marker person, like I delved into markers for quite some time. But I found that I really, really prefer colored pencils. I prefer the control. With markers, you have very little control as far as I'm concerned. And as you get better at them, absolutely you can control them a little bit better. But I personally have very little control over them and where they go and how they work. I'm getting better with it, but it is a slow learning process. And I know that I can put down color really fast with them with one color or, two of the same colors. But I just find it more relaxing to build the color and that sort of thing with colored pencils. But yeah, I was really surprised when I was shown those markers for Arteza. And I'm surprised that some companies are going through and changing their numbering system and naming system. It's just, we have all of these pencils out there and all of these different sets out there, and then suddenly you're going to change the name or not even the names, that some of the names are most of the names are the same. It's just their number system is different. You would think they would send out an email about it or a bulletin about it so that people with an older set of pencils can go through and download the name system, the new name system, new number system. Really? That is good to know. I don't think I actually should pull out my not last year's, but the year before, because I've only been coloring for 2 years. I should pull out my colored pictures book, because I keep them all in a binder in page protectors. I should pull out that binder and see how the markers have done and have aged. Yeah, they're going to have over 400 colors. The largest set that they say they're coming out with is a 144 set, but it's going to be over $400 for that set. You know, for 144 markers, that's okay. So yeah, mine are never exposed to the sunlight. They're in a binder. Yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on it, Cassie. It's like, yeah, nope. If I'm gonna pay $1,000 for 400 markers, I'll buy Copics, because that's pretty much what you're going to end up what it's going to end up costing you is just below $1,000, I think, for all of them. And if I'm going to spend that kind of money on markers, I'll buy the best of the best. And until they prove that they are better than Copics, until somebody comes out with some proof that they are better than Copics, then they're not going to be able to maintain that benchmark on the market. And like I said, I really enjoy the Arteza brand. I really enjoy the Arteza customer service. They are top notch, but they're not. They haven't proven themselves to be the level of Copics or Chromas. You know, even Chromas don't try to get that high. You know, and they are big in Europe and Sweden and a bunch of other places. Yeah, exactly. I think there are certain marker companies that have a better light fastness, such as Indian Ink and stuff like that. Like the Faber-Castell Pitt pens and stuff like that, I think have a better light fast rating than alcohol markers. And I know that Copics have a rating system. I don't know how well all of them maintain, but I do know that they do have a light fast rating. I don't know what their rating is going to be or that sort of thing. I would trust a colored pencil light fast rating more than I would a alcohol marker, from what I've heard of alcohol markers in exposure to sunlight and whatnot. But I don't know a whole lot about alcohol markers. Like I said, I'm more of a pencil person. I do use them, and I have used them. I'm just not very good with them, so I don't use them a lot. Good to know. I didn't know that. I could have swore that Copics had a light fast rating on them, on some of them anyway. I know that the Faber-Castell Pitt pens do, but I don't remember if what the Copics level was on that. Cassie, did Arteza say whether they were light fast or not? Or anybody else? Of course, you can all chime in if you have an opinion or a thought. We have 9 people in here visiting. Okay. Yeah, I didn't see it either, but I looked at the price and ran, so I didn't stick around a whole very long to see all of the details of it. I saw the price and my credit card said, "Hell no, get out of there." I think it locked down my computer and said, "Nope." Well, I'm glad I'm not the only one that doesn't go further into information. You know, it just puts down the credit card and says, "Yeah, walk away." Because that's pretty much what I did. Is I saw the price of them and looked at how many colors were coming out and what calculated how much it was going to cost for an entire set, because yeah, full set syndrome is a thing with me. And I went, yeah, that's not happening. If I'm going to go with a full set syndrome problem there, I'll do it with Louis Vuitton. Yeah, I've actually seen those. And it's just crazy. Yeah, exactly. I've put enough money into my coloring addiction too. Yeah, the Louis Vuitton colored pencils, I think they were $1,000 for, I think it was 24 or 36. Maybe it was 72, but it was a really small amount of colored pencils for an insane price. It's like I can't even fathom spending the money on the 500 square pencils that come over time, and they're like 500 different colors, and I can't even fathom spending that on them. It took me a long time to even consider buying the Holbeins. Were they 1,000? Wow, that's crazy that the Crayola won over the Louis Vuitton. But I can definitely see it. I can definitely see it. They put out these high end names, um, like Tiffany and Company, Louis Vuitton, things that are in our brains as high end, high class, money spenders, and they're garbage. That they're not meant for. They're meant to be pretty, and that's it. And that's the way it is with a lot of that brand specific stuff. Is they're meant to be pretty, and I don't think they're meant to be functional. exactly. Exactly. If you're going to charge, $1,000 for a Louis Vuitton case and put pencils in it, put good pencils in it. Like, holy, excuse my French. Yeah, no, I would not pay $1,000 for a small set of pencils that were terrible. I don't even remember how many pencils were in it, but it was not a lot. It would have sent my full set syndrome into I want, but I wouldn't have paid that for that amount of pencils. It took me years of watching Holbein videos and then somebody sending me and watching Holbein prices on different websites, Chinese websites, and everything else before I found a set that were on sale that would ship to the US for a discounted cost. The Holbeins here that you can get here now at Dick Blick's are $425 for a full set of Holbeins. And when I purchased mine, the reason why I jumped on them is because they were $200 for a set of Holbeins with shipping. And that's, they went up right after I purchased them. The sale ended and they went up to, I think, a $365 with shipping. So that's why I jumped on them, is because they were really expensive pencils, really good pencils from what I've heard and what I, now that I have them. And the price was phenomenal. It was $100, well, the same price as Faber-Castells, for 120 set. Faber-Castells are 120, the Holbeins were 150, and they were pretty close to the same cost. And I was a little bit concerned about them coming from Japan, but they were in pristine condition when I got them. I got them in less than 2 weeks, and they were perfect. So I don't regret buying them whatsoever. And, if I did regret buying them, if I did find that I really hated them, I could have sold them on eBay for $800 at the time, before Dick Blick's had brought the Holbeins into stock. They were going on Amazon or on eBay, I mean, for $800 for the 150 set. So yeah. Yeah. So it's, how many did you get? 36. Okay, for 112. And did you get those on Blix? I think that's what Dick Blix's were. But, you can buy the different little sets or the larger set. I think the larger set is a little bit more expensive, but if you calculate it, it's actually cheaper. Yes, exactly. You can get the 150 set from the seller that I used in Japan, I think for 360 with shipping. I think it's 298. Yeah, absolutely. If you're worried about them being shipped from Japan, I personally found that the ones that I got from Japan were better packaged and wrapped and everything else. They were taken care of a lot better than most of the things that I've had shipped to me from the US, which is saying something. I think that they package beautifully. I've never had a problem with Dick Blick's packaging. They actually have a really cool packaging that packages them quite tight with really, really good bubble coverage. But there are some packaging companies out there like that I've had come from overseas, like the Derwent's. I received a set from Derwent to replace the set I was having problems with that I got for Christmas. And it looked like it had been kicked around and dropped and punted and everything else. It was horrible. Yeah. Yeah, it's about the rights. Like if you buy the individuals, it comes out to the 425 or 450 um, that they have the entire set for. But I think the 72 or the 50s calculate to a lesser cost per pencil. But I haven't looked too deeply into it, and since I did the video on them, the fact that they were here. Excuse me. But, absolutely take a look at Blix. Also take a look at the Japanese company as well. I do believe my Holbein pencil video is still available to be viewed from the old channel. It's not on the old channel, it is on this channel, but I can't remember if I made it unviewable. But I'll take a look and see if it's still public. I do believe, I can't remember if I copied the purchasing information from the old channel or not. I may not have. So I'll have to look that up. But it's a wonderful company out in Japan that I got mine from, and they were so nice. They made sure that everything got here in time, well packaged, and they even put a little note, a little thank you note in my package. So, and little things like that mean a lot to me when it comes comes to purchasing from a company, is their customer service and their care for their packages and their customers means a lot, in my opinion. And like I said, I'm opinionated. Sometimes I'm too opinionated. But yeah, I would that is the most expensive set of pencils I bought, and the only reason why I bought them at the cost that I bought them at was because they were on sale for dirt cheap. For that brand and that quality of pencil, it was dirt cheap. If you're purchasing, say, if you're just looking at it as their only colored pencils, $200 isn't really dirt cheap. But with the quality that they are and the artist branding that they have, they're really, really good pencils, and they were dirt cheap for it. My husband looked at it and went, "I love you." That was all he said, and walked away. Where 2 years ago he would have went, yeah, no. Oh, well, that's no good. Yeah, you have to be careful of your sellers, that's for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Nowadays he's gotten into the understanding, especially with his hobby, um, that sometimes you can't just go with the lowest price. You have to look at the quality and the mixtures and everything else. He's finding that with his filaments and that sort of thing, that quality matters. You know, you can't just go with the lowest possible price and get the same quality of product, or the same reliability out of a lower cost. Yeah, I definitely understand that. If you've been burned from one seller, you're going to definitely be leery of overseas sellers as well, or any sellers until you find one that you can know are regulated by the US regulations and that sort of thing. I can definitely understand that. Well, I'm glad that you got a 36 set that you enjoy, and the um, 12 pastels that you got. You know, that's a good start. It's a wonderful start, absolutely. But sometimes you have to look at it and go, how much is it going to cost in the long run buying the smaller sets compared to how much it's going to cost in buying or saving up and buying the full set all at once. And if it's going to cost the same, then of course buy the small sets and go as you go and that sort of thing. Just be budget conscious with it and do your thing. Absolutely. I think you'll like them. I really enjoy them. Yeah. Yeah, more than likely they had burned a whole bunch of people. You know, there's so many companies out there that are just out to make the almighty dollar. And they don't care who they burn in the process. Scammers. I hate scammers. You know, and it's good that eBay was on top of it. I think Amazon should get on top of some of them. They have so many on Amazon now. It's crazy. Different ones that are stealing from different artists, different ones that are selling fake things under different brands, you know, selling throwaway products, basically. You know, it's the manufacturer of a product that's throwing away something that somebody else's quality control said, yeah, we're not selling that. And that's what a lot of these new brands that are popping up are, is like even this brand, the Cadron brand that just popped up. It's the Culie, for some reason, found a problem with either the paint or the wood or something else on the pencil and said, yeah, that isn't up to our quality, so we're not buying that. And they get sold off by the company under a different name for cheaper, for cost, so that they can make up the finances that they're losing from that run. And they won't stick around long. You know, once those pencils are gone and sold out and everything else, that brand will just disappear. Absolutely. Which is fantastic too. Absolutely, Deborah. Yep, that is true. Sometimes you get what you pay for. Absolutely. And, you know, sometimes you can find a startup company that has a really great brand, or a really great mixture, a great pencil that will be a fantastic brand as it grows. You know, they all have to start somewhere. And sometimes we lose really good brands just because of the fact that they are inexpensive, or that they're using a company that isn't very reputable with their manufacturing, that ends up messing things up for them. And, you know, I say this because we have one brand that is a US brand. It's a very small company, Norberg and Linden, that just had this problem at Christmas. Yeah, Art and Fly is a great brand of pencils, and they have a really nice mixture in their pencils, and they are very budget friendly at this point, and hopefully they stay that way. But the Norberg and Linden is another U.S. brand that got burned this Christmas by their manufacturer and messing up their brand. And hopefully they're able to regain the momentum that they were building with their 72 set, and get the 120 set back out there. But unfortunately, their 120 set being mixed up with the Cray Art colored pencils really damaged their name. Yeah, exactly. And all of them are Cray Art. Even if they don't say Cray Art on them, Norberg and Linden, I have a good relationship with Clark Norberg, or Clark Linden, sorry. And he even let me know so that I could do a video on them, what happened. And the company submitted all of their requests and submitted their mixture recipe and everything else, got their pencils, sent them all off to their distributors, which is Amazon and a couple of other places, and got the ones in for their own website and their own shipping storefront and all that sort of thing, and looked at them and said, these aren't our pencils. Contacted the manufacturer. The manufacturer said, well, they're your mixture in it. We'll just take the Cray Art name off of it. And that's why some have Cray Art on it and some don't. And some, have just the names and numbers. And Norberg said, okay, as long as there are barrels, like as long as there are cores, the barrel really doesn't make a lot of difference. We can explain that as long as it has our cores. And then right after Christmas, the manufacturer informed them that the cores weren't even right, that they were 100% Cray Art, which I think really damaged them and damaged their sales and damaged their name. And hopefully they don't disappear, because they are a little tiny company, a little two brothers company out of Ohio. And they are just the sweetest guys ever. And I really hope that this manufacturing problem doesn't completely ruin their business, which unfortunately, hopefully they're able to bounce back from. And right now, I think they're working on getting a different manufacturer to set up and send out their 120 sets. But I haven't heard from them in a little while. So I think hopefully they just don't disappear. Yes, the 72 set is theirs. Absolutely. The 72 set is their brand as well as their mixture. And you can definitely tell the difference. Hi, Barb. Well, thank you very much for coming in and taking a visit. I hope that things don't get way too heavily on your mind. There's always lots on my mind. I'm always in 120 different directions. Yeah, absolutely. The 72 set is theirs, and you can definitely feel a difference when you color with it compared to the Cray Art. I kept the 100 set that I bought because they are Cray Art, and I didn't have Cray Art. And I do enjoy the coloring of them, but you can definitely feel the difference between the 72 and the Cray Art. Yeah, hopefully they'll be able to bounce back from it, and hopefully with the support that we can give them as an American company. Unfortunately, with their manufacturing in a different country, they are manufactured in China, like most lower budget pencils are, because that's how they stay lower budget. Is they use the most expensive in that manufacturing facility, but it's still a lower budget. Yeah, Amazon, just so you understand that what's going on between Amazon and companies. Amazon will buy a lot. And when they buy a lot from a company, say Norberg and Linden, say Crayart, any company like that, they now own that lot. Yeah, I think it was, I watched it and I can't remember who it is. Color was something, hold on a sec, I'll be able to tell you. Maybe I won't. I'll have to look it up, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. Amazon has a purchase agreement. What happens is they purchase a lot with the purchase agreement of this percentage is yours, this percentage is ours. However, at that point, yeah, most come from China or Vietnam. But at that point, the Amazon owns that product. They'll give a commission to the seller or the company that has sold it to them when they sell it. But it's all in their warehouse at that point. The product is theirs. So when there's a problem with the product, it's actually Amazon that replies to your problem. It isn't usually the manufacturer or the brand. Color My World, that's it. Yeah. Yeah, it was Color My World, Cassie. So when, say, Norberg and Linden has a manufactured product shipped to Amazon, it doesn't even cross over their desk at any point. It goes straight to Amazon. Amazon sells it to you. So a lot of times when there is a quality issue, it's Amazon that you is talking to about that, especially if it says provided by Amazon or sold by Amazon, distributed by Amazon. It's coming directly from the Amazon warehouse. Yes, absolutely. If you purchase them and Amazon didn't give you a solution to the problem, contact Norberg and Linden. They are a wonderful, wonderful company. Yeah, exactly. They are basically Crayart and a Norberg and Linden box is exactly what they became. But if you have issues with it or already own a set of Crayart and you want them replaced or want a refund, you can contact Norberg and Linden or have them sent back to Amazon. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If you contact Norberg and Linden themselves and let them know that you purchased a set of their 120 colored pencils and that you received Crayart with the Crayart name, I do believe they are giving you a full refund. I don't know if they're asking that you send those back to them. Yeah, exactly. So if you do have that problem, absolutely you can contact Norberg and Linden. Hopefully you'll get a response from them. Like I said, I'm really hoping this issue didn't completely demolish their company. Like I said, I haven't heard from them in a little while, so hopefully they're still afloat and they're just working on getting new manufacturing for their 120 set. But guys, we have been at this for an hour and 40 minutes. Yeah, it is very sad, and it really sucks that they are a very, very lovely company, an American company that basically had a major issue with their manufacturer, and their manufacturer, basically hung them out to dry, and Amazon hung them out to dry, which is horrible. This book is The Fairy Touch of Magic by Klara Markova. And it's a page I started in October, and I still haven't touched it. I still haven't done a whole lot, but I am getting there. I got the leaves and the bugs done. No problem, Barb. But thank you so much for visiting with me, guys. I think I'm going to let you all go. And I hope that your work in progress has got a little bit further along than mine did. Hopefully I'll be able to finish this sometime soon. I love visiting with y'all. Thank you so much for visiting with me. Yours is done. It's just fading, so you got to touch it up a bit. Just touch it up with different pencils as it fades off. Yes, pumpkins and ladybugs. All right, guys, have a great night. Thank you so much for visiting. Love you all. And of course, remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you're not already subscribed to the channel. And if you're not a part of our Facebook group, please join us over in Facebook. We do have some fun over there. Well, a lot of fun over there. I'm not going to lie. That, of course, the link is listed on my banner, as well as will be listed in the About section of the video once it goes into the upload mode. So, of course, join us there. If you haven't watched the Collection Mania Monday video, make sure you take a look at the Collection Mania Monday video. There is a giveaway going on, but you have to watch the video to find all of the information on how to win that. So please do make sure that you give that a view as well. Thank you all very much for watching, and thank you all very much for talking to me and hanging out and teaching me how to say different words. I do appreciate it very much. You all have a great night, and we will see you again on Saturday. Bye-bye, guys. Thanks so much.